How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of our Don't Starve LP. A couple days have passed, and as you can see, I've gathered up the beefalo wool that we're going to be needing, so we've got a nice stack of beefalo wool. I also got a beefalo horn because I ended up killing one of them on accident. Actually, I was filming an episode, and then the entire thing decided to crash and ruin the whole thing. So actually, a lot of things have been ruined, but we're going to keep our chins up. We're going to roll with it. We're going to go with the punches. Sometimes that's all you can do. So let's cook up some of this meat. I always feel like the larger meats are better off cooked. Throwing 4 of those into a crock pot generally seems like a terrible plan. There we are. And so we'll put those meats in the crock pot later on. So actually, no, we're not going to put those in the crock pot at all. We're going to ignore them completely. And let's go break down some pig houses. Where is our hammer? Where is my hammer? So we're going to find ourselves a hammer. And it's kind of funny right now. The entire beefalo herd is walking around shaved, and they all just look so depressed and sad. Like they really just seem like they need antidepressants. But on a side note, there's one beefalo that I missed overnight, and I was thinking to myself, you know, oh my God, that I know whose genes are going to be passed on. Like we know whose nose all of the beefalos are going to have in the future. So we should see a genetic kind of well, not purification, I guess, a genetic co-alignment or a genetic joining of everybody looking the same among the beefalo herds, unless these ones get intrepid and move over and combine with the other tribe. Who knows? But we're going to break down some pig houses right now. We're going to try and relocate those before the end of this episode. So we'll see what happens. We may have to work through the night, but hopefully we can get it done. We can get her all taken care of. I built myself a boomerang so that we can fight with our enemies if necessary. So basically, we have a ton of manure right now for our farming. I don't really know how winter is going to affect farming and things of that nature. Hopefully not too much, because from what I've heard, winter seems to retard or generally kind of impede progress of eating food and so forth. Like your berry bushes don't seem to grow very well, like bees don't work anymore. And I love the fact that these pigs just don't give a care. Like they don't really care at all that I'm destroying their entire society. So hopefully they don't notice. We're going to kill as many of their houses as possible. And once we have gathered up all of those things, because these houses are just a smorgasbord, they are a cornucopia of awesome things that we can take back with us to build with. So let's grab as much of these pig skins as possible. These guys are cannibalistic. That one looks a little browner than the rest of them, which makes me worry that he's going to turn into a werepig. I don't know if that's how it works, but just me looking at him, it makes me a little nervous. So we will continue to break as many. Okay, we can't carry any more of those. I don't know how many kind of pig skins you can get in a stack, but we are going to eat the rest of these seeds because I feel like I should bring back as many of these as possible. And so I guess that's all we're going to be able to carry. We'll come back and finish off the rest of them once we get back from our camp. So let's head back as quickly as possible. There's a bunch of pigs running around. Hopefully it's not a full moon. I didn't know if you could shave the babies. With regards to the beefalos, I feel like shave the baby is probably a sentence that nobody has ever used. Like, there are numerous sentences in life that I feel like no one has ever used towards their child, and shave the baby is one of them. I feel like if you use the phrase, I'm going to shave the baby, there's no good that can come from that sentence. Like, there is really only detriment that can come to your life. Like, either people are going to think you're a pedophile, or people are going to think you are just a psychopath with your baby. Now, hopefully we make it back. The nights are getting a little longer. As you can see, the little wedges are getting further and further as we get closer to the season of winter. We don't have a season of fall. We just jump straight between, I think, kind of summer and winter. And you get to start, luckily enough, you get to start in summer. But we're starting to get crazy noises from the peanut gallery, too. Things are kind of going crazy off camera. I don't know. Damn it. I hate you so much, Hammer. Hammer, The hammer is the tool. I do that every time with my hammer. It just drives me crazy. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I want to punch my hammer in the face sometimes because I can't punch myself. Well, I could punch myself in the face, I guess. It's my fault, but I choose to blame the hammer. I've explained this before in a past diatribe. I'm going to keep those seeds because I feel like we may need them for our future planting. So let me see if I can gather up as many of these items that I just knocked out of my chest as possible. We'll put all of these things back where they belong, and we will grab our little turf section. Oh, we've run out. We have finally run out of turf with which to stoke our fires. Can you use... Ew, that must stink. Using fur as fuel, that must just smell lovely. So we'll use some of this extra poo we have laying around, this excess duke that we have in our possession, just running around. We are that guy. We're kind of the smelly kid on campus, running around, and oh my God, there is a kid in my physics course Like, I've been telling you that my brain just feels bleached right now because I've been like storing so much information about just random physics stuff. Like, just magnetism, and then like my chemistry courses are killing me too, so I've been storing retarded amounts of information about chemistry, just like equilibrium titrations and all kinds of nastiness. But I've been saying that my brain feels bleached recently, and there's this kid in my class that he's been working with me on a physics project, and he smells very bad. Like, what was that? What did our character just do? We were almost out of our minds, by the way, and I've been forced to work with him, but he's so smelly. Like, I've been thinking like maybe he kind of rubs his pencil on his neck all the time, so I've been thinking about stealing his pencils and just rubbing deodorant all the time, like rubbing deodorant all over him, or maybe just coming up with something. I don't know what I should do, but this kid is smelly as hell, and it is really affecting my work. Like, you would think like somebody could not possibly be stinky enough to actually mess with your workflow, and I can't fight those things yet. Oh, we got 3 carrots. That's good. I'm actually really glad that we got carrots. So my mighty arms can carry no more. So we'll plant those seeds here, and I don't want to dump them on the ground. I need to store all this stuff, so let's store some of these extra cut stones. We're going to head back and see if we can break down some more. God, the world is just getting all kinds of shifty and awful. This must be what it feels like to be Gary Busey. He definitely had his Busey face on right there. And we can get rid of our shaver finally. We don't need that anymore. We no longer are discussing shaving the baby, so that's good. Now let's take some of this excess poo, and let's take a look at our farming situation. And actually, we're in a really good spot for making some more turbo farm plots. So let's get as many of these made as possible before winter decides to rear its ugly head. There we are. And we will grab another one, and I can actually build quite a few of these. I'm pretty excited about it. And how many more can we make? We can make, oh, many, many more. Many, many more. This is going to be amazing. We're never going to starve ever again. This is going to be like a compound. This is no longer like a base. This is like a full-scale, like, Hugo Chavez-esque base. So there we are. And we will throw all of these in here. And we don't even have enough seeds to plant anything anymore. And the world is breathing at me. And I don't know about you, but generally when the universe starts to breathe at me, I get a little nervous. I feel like it may be time to take my medicine. Take my medications that I so rarely take anyways, which is how you end up with these Let's Play videos. Just, I'm not crazy, I'm fun stable. So, we're going to, now that we've got those done, we have no grass left, so we're going to need to go farm our grass plots down here. Hopefully our berry bushes have decided to regrow. We have had a horrible, let me equip my boomerang real fast in case a gobbler pops out down here, because I would like to take him out if he shows up. We're going to run through the berry bushes down here and just see what happens. We do need to fertilize the rest of this. And there we are. Everything is fertilized. And let's grab all of the berries for the time being, and we'll get some fists full of jam cooking. I am so disappointed. I can't stop thinking about it, how disappointed I am that the last episode got deleted by my ridiculous, idiotic... Well, it was Fraps' fault. Fraps crashed. Fraps gave me that horrible ding of doom, and as any LPer will tell you, that is just... Gotcha! Ow! I got myself! I got myself twice. I need to get better at catching that. There we are. So we got our berries back, kind of. And we'll grab some of this grass. We've cooked up the carrots. So let's get ourselves fed at least, because if we're going to be going crazy, let's not go completely just Rush Limbaugh on a zero stomach. So we want to make sure that we ourselves are at least sated if we're going to be insane. So sated and insane. And it sounds like we have hounds coming too. Great. Great. What else could go wrong? He said as he pondered Murphy's Law. So let's grab the rest of our grass supplies so that it's nice and it starts growing back. Get our tentacle spike ready. And I'm going to take a look at the possible traps we can make for this general region of our base. Our fire has gone out. Let me go up here to my research station and look at our survival options. It looks like... He looks like he's farting whenever he does that. He looks like he's doing a Valsalva maneuver. You should definitely Google Valsalva maneuver. There are many Wikipedia pages that can occupy at least 20 minutes of your life with hilarious just laughter. And Valsalva maneuver is one of them. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you should definitely go check it out. It's hilarious. I stumbled across it by accident. I hear poppies. So let's get we have our tentacle spike ready. And we will now look for survival mechanisms. so that we can trap them. Is it under structures, maybe? I don't know where oh god, it's a fire hound. And he's gonna burst into flames. I don't know if he's gonna drop anything useful for us, but this is why we build our base out of stone, so that horrible things don't happen anymore. And so this is going to drive us increasingly insane. Like, fighting hounds has the tendency to make you just batshit nutty. So there we are. And that, I hope that's the last of them. I don't know if that's the last of them. Our music is still going, our combat music. So let's plant the rest of those so that we can get lots of food ready to go. We'll take our seeds, and I'm just going to eat them right now. And now that that's done, I've got to come up with a plan for where, well, let's get ourselves a winter hat made. So we need our silk, so let's grab our silk and our fur out of here. Because if there's one thing for certain, I really do want to have a winter hat ready to roll. It looks like we can make a beefalo hat. I don't know which is better. I know all hats help with winter to a certain extent. He's just losing his mind down here. God. All hats help with your sanity to a certain extent. And part of me wonders if I slept right now, if all of that would be restored. I really haven't played around with sanity restoration and gotten a gauge for how much sanity you can get back from various actions. We'll close that off. We used up so many of our things. We have extra twigs in here. We are definitely not twig wanting at the moment, to bring back an old saying or cliche. So we'll use a bunch of twigs to stoke the fire for tonight. And let's get these cooking in the crock pot for now. We're going to want, winter's almost here, so we're really going to want to go down and check our beehives before winter gets here. We've got a couple hound's teeth, which is good. The hound's teeth are going to let us make blow darts, which are going to be really important for the future. Because we're going to be engaging with Angus McTusk pretty soon, and that guy, I tell you what, that guy is going to hit us from a range, and we want to be able to deal with him on his own level. So I guess I'll make a winter hat just so we can be in theme. I don't know which hat is better, but we'll make a winter hat for now. We need some silk out of here, so let's grab some silk out of our growing supply. There we are. Well, our dwindling supply now. And it looks like our crock pot's ready to be harvested, so we'll grab that out of there. And for tonight's question of the evening, your favorite candy. So throw that one in there. My favorite one is M&M's. I am a sucker for M&M's. If there's like, you know those big bowls of M&M's they have at like Christmas parties and things? I will eat the hell out of that bowl. Do not leave that bowl in my radius. I will just make just the most ridiculous glutton out of myself. I will make myself look absolutely atrocious. So we will throw more berries in there. I'd like to keep this all just kind of flowing. We have enough food right now to last a little while. What the hell was that? The whole world just flashed red. And for what reason, I know not why. If I really wanted to say that sentence in the most complicated way possible. So we're going to hang out by the fire here. So my merry discussion of M&M's was derailed by the fact that he's losing his mind now. So M&M's are my favorite candy. Let me know what your favorite candy is. One time I got these soybean candies. Some guy that my dad knew who travels to Japan a lot. He does a lot of like ministry type stuff, I guess, in Japan. Just proselytizing or something, I don't know. And that is unsettling. I don't like that either. So we have a winter hat now. So we have a stylish head accessory. And that is going to help us keep warm once winter gets here. We also have our little vest here that we made in our last map, which is finally going to be useful for us. We'll equip that as well, and we'll throw this on the ground. It's kind of like a hoodie. I feel like we should use the wood. I feel like we should use the wood. No, we should use the word "in it" all the time whenever we wear this, because I'm feeling a little bit like I might be on a football firm or something. And actually, I should keep myself from saying things like that, because my only exposure to football firms is really from the movie Green Street Hooligans, so I don't really know if that's the best representative of that whole subculture. But, you know, I've always wished, like, in the U.S. that we could watch rugby on TV. Like, I'm always jealous. Like, do they play rugby on TV overseas? Oh, and I think winter is here. That was the first time I've ever seen that type of bird, and we are just out of our minds right now. But, like, I always wished. I watched a few. I had a friend who was from Great Britain, and his whole family was from there. And it looks like we've got a new type of bird who looks slightly stoned. Like his eyes are kind of saggy. He basically looks like I do when I'm domed out of my mind. And we'll grab this other pile of berries here. We've got some fists full of jam. We're going to kind of wait to use it all, because really, oh my god, these gobblers are just killing me. And we're going to kill him as best as possible. There we go. So we'll get rid of him, because gobblers are just something I cannot stand. We just can't. Just gotta take them out. And what the hell is that? Ow. Why did you hurt me? Throw a stick. And I've heard your bees freeze. Your bees freeze when they sneeze on their knees. Okay, so the bee boxes look kind of full. I don't know if they nerfed the rate at which we gather honey, but for the time being, we got to get some honey on our side as quickly as possible. We're just going to grab as much as we can take because winter's coming. Winter is indeed coming. We could kill off a large supply of our bees in the hopes of possibly grabbing some more honey before the winter gets here, but I think winter's here, basically. We've got birds showing up. We've got all kinds of crazy stuff happening. Our winterometer seems to be indicating that it's getting colder. So, we'll keep that in mind. We will bear that in mind as we proceed. Now, let's start. Let's cook this up, I guess. We're going to make this last as much as possible over the course of winter. I'm not really sure what my food supply is going to look like over winter. I don't want to use up all my honey because I wanted to play with the idea of purifying monster meat, which someone had mentioned to me. I don't know if that's at all possible. Let's see what these birds drop, by the way. A snowbird feather. Okay. So that's a feather that I haven't seen before, and going in true style, the developers are always good about adding new things that stay in the theme of the entire game. So let's store some of these things that we have laying around. And once we do that, we'll have a little bit of space to go build some pig huts before the evening strikes us. God, look how long nighttime is in the winter. That is ridiculous. How do you even function under those conditions? Like, I don't really know how we could perceivably get anything done with that amount of time. That is just brutal. So, we're going to have to make ourselves some blow darts before Angus McTusk shows up. And really, it's only that dusk gets longer, I guess. But still, we can still keep ourselves kind of working, but let's get ourselves some structures built here for our piggy friends. I'm going to put them a little closer this time because I've heard they can be useful for getting your sanity back. And there's not going to be too many of them. Home time. And so they are taking to their homes rapidly, so there we are. And I forget what we needed for normal blow darts. I think we just needed hound tusks, to be honest. I'll have to look at the recipe. Are we out of supplies here? We are indeed out of supplies. So what we will do with the rest of the time... I don't really know what our indicator is for freezing to death. I'm going to use boards as fuel because, frankly, I feel like being wasteful. We may actually have to sleep because this whole period of the game seems like it may be a tad too long. Let me see if I can run up here and harvest out some of these reeds really quickly. I don't really know what the reeds require in order to be planted, but we need a reed supply if we're going to be making ranged weaponry with any consistency. I also feel like it's a little bit darker during dusk right now. Hopefully we don't get ourselves into trouble with some of these mosquitoes that are out here. Okay, and so it looks like I have beaten the reeds. Now it looks like we can't dig any of these up, but maybe they grow back quickly. So I guess that's what we'll do for now, is we'll just kind of harvest these out before the end of the day because we're going to turn these reeds into blow darts because I want to be able to defend myself. They only do like 12 damage, which comparatively, well comparably with other things, that's not really the greatest. And we keep losing health, and I'm not sure why. Maybe that's because of winter. Maybe we're freezing, and that's what's kind of happening to us right now. I wish they gave me kind of a better indicator of whether I was freezing or not. Like maybe a 4th meter would be nice, just for your kind of comfort. But it is what it is. So we'll head back here to our lovely fire, and we've got some candy here. And let's play around with the prospects of maybe using honey to purify that meat. So we'll see what happens here. If you were the viewer that mentioned that to me, thank you very much. That's actually really helpful. Anything that helps me survive in this situation, and that actually hurt my health. Between our sanity and everything else that's going wrong here, I may have to break down and take a nap. Just a little cat nap. I don't know how it's going to affect everything, but we'll keep an eye on that for the future. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the next episode of our Let's Play of Don't Starve. I'm glad you decided to spend your time here at the Nerd Castle, and I hope you will in the future. So, I will see you next time. Take care out there, guys.